G'day everyone, welcome to the Warband podcast with your host Big Ives. Today we're going to go through a game that's going to happen in a couple of hours, Rob's High Elves versus my Skaven. We're going to have a look at the lists and we're going to see what strategies I might want to employ. But first, let's learn a little bit about the league. And before we do that, in fact, this inspiration for this podcast is from a friend of mine in the league, Pat, otherwise known as Scatter Dice Guy. So there he is. Check him out. He did a pre and post report about a game we played, Skaven versus Bretonia. So my thinking is maybe I'll do a retort or my side of the story later on. But today we're going to talk about Rob and myself. So Rob has this list over here. Look at all my lovely lists here. Rob has High Elves. And this is his list. You can see here we've got very heavy characters. Pretty light in the old core there. Special. And we got the rare. My list here. Pretty heavy on the old characters. Decent core though, pretty happy with my core. And we've got a rare unit there. So in this league was put together by Pat. We've got 1 to 6 scenarios here. So this is based on the match play guide. You can see here, upon the field of glory, king of the hill, drawn battle lines, close quarters, a chance encounter, and encirclement. So we roll to see what we get. And then we roll to see what scenarios we get. So not every scenario, what secondaries we get. Not every scenario will have secondary objectives. So we'll have to see. Now, for my game, I'm hoping lots of secondaries because Rob doesn't have that much core. But let's have a look. Now, I've never played High Elves before. They've got all these weird, wacky rules. So let's go find out together. So he's got his Archmage first. Now the Archmage is probably going to have, I haven't written down here, one of them has the High Magic and one of them has Illusion. Now my guess, oh there it is, Illusion here, High Magic. I did have it there. So High Magic. Let's have a look-see daisy. Now Rob's plan, I think, is going to go heavily on Drain Magic. Which ain't really great because I need lots of magic to buff up my guys. We'll get into that. Let's have a look here. So while this spell is in play, enemy wizards that are within 24 inches of the caster's model when attempting to cast a spell must increase that casting value by 2. So I've got a lot of demonology spells and that's just going to be a lot harder to cast. Now, it's a remains in play spell. So Rob will cast it. I'll try and dispel it. And then, assuming I don't, when it's my turn again, I'll have another crack at dispelling it. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. The most important thing, though, is to remember to actually try and dispel the remains in play spells. My track record is not good with that. With that and with Vortices, we'll see. I'll put that on my list of things to do. Walk Between Worlds, Ethereal, okay. So we might have some ethereal units here, maybe some more of the elite guys. Not as worried about that because I'm relying a lot on static combat resolution. Fiery Convocation. Ooh, now this one's gonna hurt. Okay, I've seen this one before. So 5-inch blast template. And then you have to scatter it, but not by much. Strength 4, AP -2, flaming attacks. So I've got a massive unit of Plague Monks, 44, 45, something like that. That will definitely hurt. But I am strength, toughness 4, so it's a 4 up. Ooh, I don't know, no armor, so AP doesn't matter. And I've got a lot of them, and they're frenzied. So hopefully I don't cop too many of these. We'll see. Tempest makes a small blast template. Yep, within the hole. Essentially, it's sort of a bit like the Sapper's rule, where you know 6 inch around the template, it's treated as difficult terrain. No, I've got that all wrong. Never mind. I don't think we're going to see this. Corporeal Unmaking and Assailment. No. +1 attacks. Fury of Cain. And then we've got here, which is basically a Oaken Shield. So there's some good options here, and I think this Archmage is going to be put into a unit. What's he got here? He's got this one here. So reroll ones. Okay, it's pretty cool. This one here, Lilith's Blessing. Once per turn, can reroll a single casting roll. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. Okay. All right. I think just magic isn't going to happen with me for this game. This law here. Oh, that's all the spells. Valor of Ages. Okay, can reroll panic tests caused by taking heavy casualties. Okay, so there's that fella, level 3 wizard. We've got another level 3 wizard with a Sword of Hoeth. Hoeth is like a great weapon, but it doesn't do strikes last. You've got Wand of Jet, okay, used for dispelling. So this guy will be in a unit probably because we've got the illusion. Oh, well, I think we have got the illusion there for the Spectral Doppelganger with a Sword of Hoeth. Makes sense. You've got the Ring of Jet. So when this guy's in combat, he won't be dispelling that much, but the Spectral Doppelganger is a little bit harder to cast. So this is quite good. I must remember. Any natural doubles in casting or dispelling, the wand is destroyed. Guarantee you I'm going to forget that. What do we got here? We've got Seed of Rebirth. That's regen 5+. Okay, so this guy will be in a unit, probably the Spearman or the Phoenix Guard. I'm going to probably say the Phoenix Guard, but we'll see. Then we've got the Noble on the Sun Dragon with a lance, full plate, shield. This is a general who's going to be a heavy hitter. He's got 6 wounds. Not a lot of wounds. So I have Monster Slayer on my assassin. So hopefully I can get in contact with him. Now, I have very high initiative, being an assassin, but this has strikes first. So normally what I do is I will get in, I'll do a hit with all my heroes, and then I'll run to the back. That works well with low initiative. But with Elves, they're probably going to go first. He's definitely going to go first. So I think what's really going to be important here is I'm going to hide my assassin, because you can hide him in a unit and reveal him at any point in time. Wait for the Noble to have a crack. Then, boom, pop out and go for the Monster Slayer. I think that's going to probably be the best shot. Initially 5, strikes first. I imagine strike first is only for the mount. Only for the person on top. We'll see. Okay. So Sun Dragon. Got Dragonfire. What's that? Okay. So I'm going to really need to have to protect my flanks with this one. Impetuousness. Okay. Need to remember that one. Then we've got another Noble over here. Looks like a sort of fighty guy. Lawmaster. Right, yeah, this was interesting. So he's got Lawmaster. He's not a wizard, but he's got a Law Familiar. So he's going to pick one of these spells and then do Law Familiar to choose which one he wants. I wonder what he's going to pick. Maybe he's going to pick Fireball. You wouldn't pick Hammerhand because otherwise he wouldn't need the Lore Familiar. Or same with the Illusion and the Glittering Robe. Interesting. We'll see. Now then we have another noble. Looks like a bit of a shooty noble that is going to go into the Shadow Warriors. Yeah. Okay. So we'll see. So we've got heavy magic focus with a Sun Dragon to get a bit of damage in, and these guys are coming along for the fun. All right, let's see. So next, core unit. So I think this is where Rob's gonna struggle. He's only got 2 scoring units, and one of them's archers. So if I get domination, or if I get strategic locations or King of the Hill, I'm in a pretty good spot here. So 19 elven archers. 19, eh? That makes me think that someone's going to go in there as a hero, at least a noble, either noble or maybe the illusion guy. Yeah, maybe the illusion guy. We've got 20 archers there. They're just going to go and try and shoot me. Maybe stand on an objective and shoot me. That's probably what I would do if I was him. Then we've got the Phoenix Guard. Now, I don't know much about these guys. Witness to Destiny. What's that? A 6-up ward save against wounds suffered by non-magical attacks. So 6-up ward save. And a model with this special rule has a 5-up ward save against flaming attacks. Well, that won't be an issue. Then we've got Close Order, Fear. Okay, gotta remember that one. They're scary dudes. Good weapon skill. Not much else. Ceremonial halberds. Fight an extra rank. So he'll have probably 2 ranks. Maybe 3. Maybe 3. So 3 or 5, 3 with a hero in there. I think that's what will happen. Yeah, okay. 5 Shadow Warriors, ambushes. These guys are just going to go around causing trouble. I'm not too fussed about these guys. They can't, if they flank, they can't take out my rank bonus. That's what I've got to worry about, my rank bonus, most of all. Then we have an Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. So it's just standard bolt thrower, but with good weapon skill. That could definitely hurt my Plague Monks. What's the... That's a repeater bolt thrower. Strength 6. Jeez. So we have strength 6, multiple wounds 2, or the repeater bolt thrower. Come on, send, move and shoot. Rapid fire. What's rapid fire do? Oh, right, yep, okay. So if he wants to go rapid fire mode, D3 plus 3 shots. Okay. So he's going to do chip damage to my clan rats or go for my hell pit. Everyone loves going for my hell pit. I actually don't think he's that effective, but if everyone wants to shoot, great. All right, let's get rid of that. Okay, next. A Lothan Skycutter. So this is a bit like a chariot that flies, but it's got a bolt thrower on the back. Strength 5. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this guy's going to fly around, hit the flanks, and that one, this guy will be able to disrupt me. So we need to worry about that. So I think Rob's going to rely a lot on his Spectral Doppelganger to get wounds, to get that combat res up. What should I do to negate him? Well, normally my plan is just to go first. But that might not work out very well. We'll have to wait and see. So let's look at my list. So I'll give everyone fancy names. I've got 2 Grey Seers. Yeah. 2 Grey Seers. One with the Lore Familiar Illusion Giant Blade. Okay, so I think everyone knows what my tactics are there. Warband. Yeah, warband. Magical attacks. So what we got here? So this fella is going to be in my unit of plague monks, 100%. So they come in. He'll attack pretty high up in the initiative list. Initiative 5. What are some of these initiatives? 5, 5, 5, 5. So we're about the same. So it really depends on all various bonuses and things like that. Come in, Spectral Doppelganger. Hopefully I get 12 attacks with the Giant's Blade. That would be great. I've got the Shadow Magnet as well. That's going to come in handy this game. So it's -1 to hit. I'll take the Glittering Robe, standard. And I guess the question is, what else should I take with the third? Glittering Robe, Spectral Doppelganger, they're the must ones. And then, I don't know. Nope, not Shimmering Dragon. Confounding Convocation, he's got really high leadership, no. Miasmic Mirage. The unit cannot charge or march. Maybe that one. But I'll probably take Column and Crystal. Just because I've got a 3D printed column. Column of Crystal. And I really like using it. So I'll probably just use that. Yeah. Okay. Column of Crystal. It is. So the next is the Plague Priest. So the Plague Priest just has battle magic. And his job is just to hit hard. So he's going to have Hammer Hand. He's got a Plague Sensor. And I like the Plague Sensor. So Strength +2. AP -1. Poison attacks. And when he attacks, he can re-roll any rolls to 1. So he's got he'll have Strength 6. And he re-rolls 1. So he's basically guaranteed to wound almost. Let's have a look. Play Sensor, Strength modifier, first round of combat. Yeah. So it's a bit like a flail, but better. He's got Cloud of Fly, so that's -1 to hit in combat. That's a rule that I kind of forget. But to be honest, it doesn't really come up that much because of Verminous Valor. So if you don't know about Verminous Valor, it means that at any point during the combat, as long as you're not in the challenge, at any point, you can retire to the back. So the tactic is you smash them, and you can do that because you have high initiative, and then you immediately run to the back so they can't fight you back, which means you don't really need to have great armor or great ward saves, regen, all that sort of stuff, because you're not there to be hit. Now, if you get flanked or attacked in the rear or things like that, it is a bit awkward, but hey, you know, is what it is. So next we have Furious Bile, my chieftain. He's a BSB, and he is carrying the Banner of Verminous Scurrying. So this gives my unit Swift Stride. He's carrying a Charmed Shield. I think I just had a few 5-point spare. He's got a great weapon, and he's got Skaven Brew. So Skaven Brew is you roll leadership test, and you could be frenzied. So if I lose frenzy, I can get it back again. I've never actually had to use it so far, but well, it's there if we need it. So he'll come in and he'll hit hard as well, and then retire to the back. So those 3 will be definitely in the unit. Now this guy is the question. Don't know. So Stephen the Grey Seer. So I pair him up with Demonology and Dark Magic because I think they combo well together. The idea being that I will buff up the Plague Monks. Now, some of the Demonology spells you need to be in the unit. Like the really good one is Demonic Vessel. So you get your normal attacks. You get your +1 because you're Frenzy. You get your +1 because of this. Then you get +1 Strength and AP. Like this is awesome if it goes off. But I have to be in the unit. So if I get this, I'll probably put him in the unit. Or I could put him in the Clan Rats. I like to try and get Steed of Shadows, which is a really good one. You fly up straight up in their face, and then you can charge them next round. That one's a really good one. I don't worry about any magic missiles with this list, so I'll leave that. With the other one is dark magic, so I like the one that gives -1 to toughness, and the one that gives battle fury, blood rage, something like that. One that gives hatred. Hatred is awesome, and frenzy. I like using that on my rat swarms. That's a fun one. So undecided. I think it really is going to depend on what I roll here. Yeah. Just in case anyone doesn't know, we've got the Warpstone tokens. So Warpstone tokens is you roll at the start of the game to see how many you get, 1 to 3. And if you, when you want to use it, you roll a dice, a D3. On a natural 1, you lose a wound, but you also then, whatever the roll is, you add D3 to your casting value. This is really good. These are really good. So I'll use these on the key spells. Then we've got Sneak It Back Poke, a master assassin with a dragon slaying sword. So I like putting this guy in this list because it sort of makes people nervous. Now, I'm probably going to have him hidden. And I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to have him hidden because they'll spoil the game for the other people in the league. But I don't always have him in the Plague Monks. I can have him in the Plague Monks, I can have him in the Clan Rats, or I can have him in my skirmisher unit. Gutter Runners, Night Runners. So I quite like Assassins. The rules are broken because you get poison attacks, warpstone weapons, and two-hand weapons, and they all don't really work well together. So I hope Renegades fixes that up. The best would be, okay, you got 2 weapons, they're both warpstone, and they're both poison. And why not? Because he's an assassin. Fair crack. You know what I mean? But yeah. So with the hidden, this bloke can pop up at any point in time in combat or at the start of the game. So what you do is you write down on a piece of paper where he's hidden, and then you reveal him in a dramatic fashion at a certain time. So one idea might be, of course, we've got such high initiative on that noble with the dragon, then we can let him fight, and then I'll pop out. Yeah. So what else we got here? Next, we've got my core units. So because I've got a Plague Priest, I can take the Plague Monks as core. So just a reminder, we are using the Renegades patch here. So we can take the Plague Monks in core. What have we got here? So Grand Banner of Superiority. So this is a great banner. You get D3 plus 1 combat resolution. So we've got three ranks. We've got close order mass infantry. We've got standard bearer and potentially plus D3. And we've got the BSB in there as well. So potentially 10 static combat res. Plus we'll get a few old wounds here. So the idea is these guys are just going to steamroll right through. So what will hurt me is flank attacks, disruption, cause dramas. I don't get 10 combat res. I'll get 7, and they'll get their +1 for the flank. It might not work well. I might get through it. You never know. Spectral Doppelganger comes off, get those extra attacks, but you never know. So these guys are really the core of my army. Next, we have the Dispensables. They're Clan Rats. A lot of Clan Rats, 34. They may or may not have an assassin. They may or may not have that Grey Seer. So their job is to support the flank of the Plague Monks and to capture any objectives. Comes with hand weapon and shield. So with parry, that gives a 4+ save. So they're pretty decent. Pretty decent little. The crawling quagmire, my rat swarms. Now I love rat swarms because they are so annoying. You can't get rid of them unless you give them a good old whack from multiple attacks all at once, which has happened a couple of times. But wounds 5, unbreakable, skirmishes with Vanguard, 5 attacks. So you get these guys with hatred and fury, frenzy. It's pretty funny. I wish there was a way you could give them poison attacks. That would be awesome. But their job, again, is to protect the flanks and to score any objectives as well, but mainly protect the flanks of my Plague Monks. We've got the Dodgy Dozen next. So they've got throwing weapons. These are my only ranged units. And their job is to sneak around the back, hassle objectives, hassle Okay, finally, this is my bit of fun. I wanted to have a bit of fun in my list. I didn't want to be too tuned up. So I thought, you know what? Hell Pit Abomination. I've got him here somewhere. Nope, he's in the box downstairs. I'll have to show you guys another time. So this is my I've got my Hell Pit Abomination. And he cost a lot. 210 points. He's got Strength 6, Toughness 6 thanks to Renegades. D6+1 attacks. He's a bit like a giant Chaos Spawn, but he has got magical attacks, and he's got these abominable attacks. That's a hard one to say. So, you can either do your D6+1 attacks. You can feed. So, nominate a single enemy model, and if it hits, automatically wounds D3 wounds. No armor save permitted. So these are good against, I guess, monsters and big things with lower weapon skill. I don't tend to use this. I sometimes use Avalanche of Flesh. So blast template, the small blast template in the center of a unit, and every unit has risk of getting hit. Strength 6. This is pretty good. So the calculation needs to be, well, what's better? Avalanche of Flesh or D6+1 attacks. Now, my friend Pat, hopefully he's going to do the math hammer on it. He's all about the math hammer. So I've asked him to math hammer what's better, feed, Avalanche or Flesh, or D6+1 attacks. But I'll probably use D6+1 in most cases, I think. So it's got random movement, 3d6. The idea being I will have this, I try not to have this guarding a flank because it's unpredictable. I could potentially Steed of Shadows all the way up and then have to 3d6 come up to protect the flank, and that could take ages or it could be done in one hit. Who knows? So yeah, it's got stomp attacks, doesn't have impact hits. Like, this guy's massive. I think he should have impact hits, but he causes terror as well. And what else is interesting? Not too much. Warpstone Claws. So it's Armor Bane, AP -1, magical attacks. So it's, it's pretty good. Pretty good for that. So that's my list. So essentially, my tactic is just going to be just charge. Charge as quick as I can, as hard as I can. If there is, let's have a look at some of the secondary objectives over here. Do we have them along here? No, I don't have them along here. But essentially, we will have King of the Hill, in which case probably get my clan reps up there as soon as possible. Don't like having Plague Monks because they'll frenzy off that thing and just run it whatever. Strategic locations, 3. I will probably get Plague Monks in the middle, Clan Rats getting my left one, on the right one getting the Swarm. Similar with 4. If strategic locations 4, I'm going to get my Plague Monks to go up all the way up and try and get Rob's one on his side, and maybe get those skirmishers hanging back, just holding that other objective. And what's the other one? Oh, the special feature, a bit like King of the Hill. That one. That's where you can get an effect. So it's you roll d6 on the 1-2. It's magic res. 3-4. It's hatred, I think, and 5-6 unbreakable. They can actually come in handy as well. So never know. So we'll see. I've got Rob coming in about an hour. So we'll see. I've got a interesting sort of setup. I'm going to have my other spare phone taking like a time lapse of it. So hopefully I can go and post that, see what happens. But until then, this is the first episode of the Warband podcast. So thanks everyone who does watch, and wish me luck.